Hey guys, gonna make a real quick video here reviewing Game 2. I'm really gonna try not to beat a dead horse here, since we have already gone over how to push and how to defend, but let's look at some examples from our game. Now, first, this is from the second half of our game on Monday night. Now, this mid-fight actually starts going fairly well for us. There's obviously some mistakes with positioning here. Hopefully everyone reviewed the demo and looked at their own mistakes, and I'm just going to try and talk about the team as a whole. So at this point, a call is made to put cap time on, and Flower gets on it, which is perfect. But at the same time, Termi moves in there, Yankees up in the mid there, Snapshot comes into the mid, and everybody dies because we've lost control of the left and the right side. We'll just look at that one more time real quick. Alright, so just watching this again. Now, this is the type of thing that's not any one person's misplay. It's a team effort. As a team, we need to be aware of covering flanks when things start getting scrappy like this, and we need to be aware of our positioning and the other team's positioning, and knowing that if, for example, if we're the furthest left, we need to know that it's our job to hold down that left flank, and if we're the furthest right, it's our job to hold down that right flank. So just overall positioning like that is something that we as a team can improve on when things start going scrappy. Because it's easy to say, Yankee holds left and Python holds right, but then once people start dying, and we need to be able to adjust on the fly, and just have an innate sense in ourselves where our teammates are and what we need to do to hold a good position. Okay. Alright, so this is the mid fight from that same fight there, and we'll just see how this starts falling apart. And the reason that this one falls apart is we just lose players. They just chip away. They don't actually have to push until we're down a lot. So this is why I'm going through and talking about how we need to be able to hold tight, and when we're taking fire we need to pull in as a group and get closer together. So we'll just take a more detailed look at that. So this hold fell apart because of all sorts of little fights on the outside not going our way. And we'll just look at this. So for example, here's Yankees doing her job trying to hold that. She takes some spam and she's running back for the health pack. But notice how she's running away from the core of the team towards this outside health pack on the fringe, and ends up getting cleaned up by the spy. That's going to happen, and that's one of the reasons why if she had taken damage and retreated onto here, Snapshot would have been able to save her. We would have had heals. Once again, not calling out any one person's mistake, but working on the overview. And let's go back and watch what happens after that. Watching what happens to Snapshot at that same time. He's holding right where he should be, and he's trying to use the wall as cover and everything. And he knows the soldier's in IT, so he positioned himself to fight him. But what he actually ends up doing is coming onto the inside of a choke and getting stuck in there. So now he's standing in front of his cover, and the soldier's going to come in, spam him down, so he loses health, and then he gets bonked and cleaned up. Whereas if he was standing just right here behind the cover and using this wall, he could have fought just as well from here, and when it was time, when he starts taking too much damage, he can fall back to right here, where he doesn't have to worry about fighting that. So he's just holding the inside of cover when he should be holding the outside. Same hold, something similar but different is happening over on IT. These guys are out holding IT, which is perfect. It's exactly their job. But we're going to start dropping numbers really quickly. You'll see that they're actually not in the fight very much at all. They're keeping them out of IT. But just watch these numbers start to drop. There goes Snapshot. Rosie runs out to fight, but by this time she has no support. Flower gets stuck in there. So just same thing. Things start getting scrappy. We need to get a little tighter. And that certainly is no fault of the flank. They're doing their job. It's just one of these things. We need to get a sense for when we're pulling back and when we're standing in there. And in lieu of going through this whole point again, I can tell you the same things happen with S9 and with Python. They end up getting in fights on the outside of our hold where they don't have any support. I'm not entirely sure what happened to Termi and myself on that, and I don't feel like going back one more time to look at it. So we'll just move forward. Okay. just to recap from that, the reason that that point was given up so easily was just we were failing to turn one-on-one fights into two-on-one fights, and we were failing to rely on our teammates for support. Um, Now on this push right here, it's actually a matter of, once again, losing the fights before the push. We have our flank down, so they're able to push in for free right here. You'll notice that the spy comes in in just the right time. Their combo moves in, and they actually do a really nice push onto here. Soldiers coming in on the right side, combos coming in through mid, and notice their Uber. They're doing exactly what I said we should be doing. They bring in the demo and the pyro, and the heavy comes in with the combo but stays back so that he can provide a zone of control. So that was a really nice Uber on their behalf, and I encourage you, if you missed anything, to just rewind the video 30 seconds and watch that again, because they played that almost perfectly. They had pressure on both sides, soldier distracting everyone while their combo came in and really did their job. Alright, now we're just going to look at a push here that doesn't go very well. The reason this push doesn't go very well is just because the combo is disorganized and we failed to get in at the same time. So here we are. You'll see S9 comes up and makes a pick or two. Their demo comes in close. That was perfect time to go in. But Termi goes in alone. Snapshot stays back. Rosie was just a little bit behind. Rosie was actually an acceptable amount to be behind. It would be better if she was a little closer. I think the real thing that broke that push was Snapshot stayed back, so he wasn't able to do any damage or scare them back at all. However, we do end up taking this point here because they're down so many people. They're down a sniper. They're down a demo. By staying in the fight, staying alive, and staying in the fight, we are able to force them back. So that does speak volumes for our strength as a team and our ability to fight. Here we are coming in a lot better. We got Snapshot supporting us, giving us a nice space to come back. Termi gets into a good position, and we're able to force them out of this point. So just reviewing that one, we're out of position. We were too passive, and we stayed too far behind. Look at their goddamn spy. How did I not get stabbed there? Duck and weave, baby. Too passive, staying too far behind. And we actually did a much stronger push without Uber than we did when we had our Uber. So I guess work on that. Now this hallway, while we were pushing into last, was a real note of caused some issues, and it was definitely something. Oh yeah, hold on. We're doing a failed push right here. We run in through here, but their pyro's there to air blast us. They're really close. This was actually a terrible place to push from. We aren't able to get in. And we completely whiffed that. We stayed too long when we knew the sniper was watching. Sniper's watching somewhere. You got two options. You can either kill that sniper immediately, and if you can't kill that sniper immediately, you can get back. Because if not, we're going to start losing some of our key players. But let's go back to this hallway. We had a tendency to hold here. This area right here is where you fall back if you're taking damage. If you're starting to get low on health, you fall back into here for safety. We needed to be holding a little closer to these doors, using these doors as our primary choke, so we can fight in here, make sure they can't have this, and then things start getting bad, fall back. Same thing, we can count on Yankee to have this, as well as, Snapshot standing right here can easily lock down the rollout, as well as help in the lobby. And this goes with all chokes of this nature. We should be holding chokes as close as possible without being suicidal. So like I said, on this ledge is dangerous, but okay. Down here is fairly dangerous, so we should only be holding down here if we feel like we're safe to do so. Alright, so we're going to watch them push in, and they make a mistake even though it is a nice push. So we'll look at what they do right and what they do wrong. They're coming in through IT. They for whatever reason have decided to swarm IT. Honestly, I think it's because S9 has been shutting them down and he's watching the choke. They come in. We're caught off guard or overextended, whatever. Termi goes down. Rosie's close also goes down. But because they're all coming in through IT, our flank over here is actually able to clean up. We still have Python up. Pop-Tart gets a really nice pick. So when they pushed in, they actually did a really great job of getting into the point. You'll see the heavy makes it from the doorway right up to here, and he's actually using this as cover, which is brilliant. The medic is in a position where he's in the fight, he can heal everyone, but if he needs to, he can duck into the IT. Their demo overextends a little bit, but he doesn't go too far from the combo. He mostly stays to this area, ends up coming over here, and I think that's why he gets cleaned up. So that's their mistake. And the other mistake was, since they swarmed in through that, they weren't able to deal with Python and Flower standing over here. So we were able to clean up that fight. So, you know, some good and some bad with that. But the main thing that we should be stealing from that push is the way they get in and get to an advantageous position. And then we also know very well that we can't all swarm one main point. We need to be making sure that we have all three entrances covered. Alright, I'm just going to end this video with an example of a push that we did really well. So let's watch this. Alright, well, I wanted to end this video with a little clip of a push that we did really well, but I seem to have not been able to find it, and I have to run to work. So we're going to forget it. Just know, you know, we got outplayed that game, but it wasn't all bad. We did have some pretty strong pushes. We had some chances to score some points. Little things didn't go our way. We know exactly what we need to do to work on everything. Think about these things, how they apply to you, and how you can apply them to every map, not just the map we're specifically talking about. And I know we're all going to come in, swing in on Borneo, and we're going to really kick a lot of ass. I encourage everyone to go watch that video that I just posted to our group.